from shit that from good content creators to semi-decent ones. That's us. So, all seriousness here, and all jokes aside, we actually do have a huge update when it comes to Weymouth Youth Wrestling. We've actually gotten a few comments now over the last few weeks. Is WYW still alive? Is WYW still alive? Because we have been pretty much MIA when it came to anything WYW since, I think, a couple of Indy Forces ago. So, we have a huge update.
And this one is actually fucking massive, considering the fact that for the most part it's just been us four.
52 weeks of weekly TV, which, if you count, that's 128 shows. One that has 6 matches and the other one 3. And by the
128 shows in the span of 365 days.
Yes. And that is completely done. All the weekly shit done. We may re-record some shit, but the bare bones of what we need recorded, done, we have it. It took a lot to do. We had a lot of goddamn fucking bumps in the road, to the point where if there is a year 2, which, by the way, it's not going to happen for 5 years after this fucking one's done, minimum. It might be longer.
Might never, but...
Hey. Might never be, honestly. But the goal is, if we do go back to WYW, we are not sticking with 2K14. As good as it was, it's also been kind of limiting in that if we had a newer game, the pandemic would have not been as big of a fucking problem. And we're not willing to risk that ever happening again after that shit. Because at the very least, yeah, online mode is whatever the fuck it is on 2K. But it's better than the alternative, which is waiting for fucking months and not getting anything done. And then shit keeps getting in the fucking way. So, that's what happened. But we got it. It is done. It is official. We have finished up the recording. It's huge for us. Because we never thought we'd get to this point. We literally just finished up last night as we're talking here. So, like, literally we finished the last match of the weekly show. And that leaves us with only Immortal 2 and one match that I can't really reveal much about to record. A couple matches, actually. So, other than that, we're golden. We're in a very good spot. We just started voice acting a couple weeks ago. All the people that we have really gotten their chops ready to go for this, and they are fucking killing it, by the way. Special shout out to Moonlight Mirage, you'll see why. And a few others as well. Mistress Audio has been a big help. A few others have been tremendous. You know who you are. I mentioned to you on Discord. But, yeah, that's essentially what we have. If anybody else has anything to say to update the audience here, I said all I need to say. I'm just happy we're at this point where we can actually say that now. It's fucking crazy. So...
I just want to say, like, the biggest comparison, like, I don't know if any one of you have seen the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse yet, but there is, spoiler, there is a chase scene which took the animators 4 years to make.
Right.
And it's a coincidence that it's gotten us 4 years
just to record the footage
to finally get to the last leg of the mile.
Yeah. And that's not even including the scenes and shit, like the game stuff, but like that's something that could easily be done now. I could do a lot of that on my own now. The bulk was the matches. And like 52 of those shows had 5 to 7 matches, depending on the week. And then the other one had 2 matches up until the last few weeks, which had 3. You try to do the math on that one, but it's probably close to like a fucking... We're probably in the quadruple digits of matches at this goddamn point. Like, we recorded a lot of shit. It was a lot to fucking do, but we did it, and we are not going to spoil anything. But if you thought the Gold Rush tournament was big, bro, you ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen shit.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
This is an entire show that spans from the aftermath of Immortal 1 to the following next year. That's how big this show
is huge, what we did. There are some things that they're not all going to be perfect, but you are going to be very, very, very well surprised with this product. We are very much in the mindset right now when it comes to voice acting, and Mike, I think you can attest to this. We want to make everything feel as legitimate as possible, which is ironic because it's on a fucking game, but you get the point. We want you to really feel, much like with Street Fighter 6, how you feel like you're having a dialogue with the character. We want you all to feel like you are getting to know each individual character as much as possible. Even the characters that may have a mystique to them, you're going to start finding out some details in the long term. That's definitely going to be our MO as we go through this. It's a big, big deal that we're at this point now. But yeah. Mike, you wanna take this, just go for it. But yeah, I think that's kind of the general thing.
I don't really know where to go with that, honestly. It's just, this has been a fucking uphill battle since day one, and COVID did not help.
No. No, it didn't. But we got through it. I don't know how, but we got through it.
By the skin of our teeth, we got through it.
Now, a lot of you people wondering, like, you know, since you have been very vitriolic with 2K14, how come you never switched to a different game in the middle of it? Well, two reasons. One, it would have felt very offbeat with how we started with 2K14, and then
just all of a sudden
to
switched,
randomly put in a different game in the middle, it would mess up. But I think the second and the biggest one, we have both intentionally and unintentionally created feuds in 2K14 that we felt is necessary to continue using 2K14.
Yes.
Now, I know I've seen a lot of CAWs on YouTube, and to those that I have seen, you guys do some great work. Congratulations. I wish I could go back and put your names down the link. Hopefully we could do that in post later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what we will do as well at some point is mention those CAW leagues in a different video, but continue.
And they have been using, like, the current games, like 2K18, 2K22, 2K23, and I will admit, yeah, newer is better, but
finally,
sometimes with 2K14, we add a little retro into our style of like how we make the matches. And I know everyone say newer is better, but in this case, you get to see why we prefer the old way, because there are a lot of moments that we created in 2K14 that
not
you wouldn't
do in any other game.
No.
Oh, hell no. After what you witnessed for this first year alone, you're going to be wishing, man, I wish they really like remastered 2K14.
To a degree, yeah. If they did, and I feel like we're going to get to that point eventually, whether it's 2K or THQ Nordic that does it, who knows. But, yeah.
God forbid even Ukes jumps on board.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think eventually you guys will see what we're talking about when you actually see the show. It was really, really crazy. It was a crazy year.
This has been a labor of love. This has been a labor of love in the extreme from all involved.
Yeah.
And not to go even further, but I mean, originally we were just gonna stick to the original booking and half-ass whatever felt necessary.
Dude,
But,
I've done the count, by the way. We have rebooked the show a total of 57 fucking times.
Yeah, 57 times.
because apparently there was a moment that I can't give away
No.
that happened that made us change the direction of how we have to view this show.
It was
because the old way wasn't going to cut it.
No.
Especially with the modern era of CAW leagues. And something I want to point out. If there is ever a CAW Slammy Awards shit, whether it's on Ringside News or fucking Triple Threat Productions,
or whatever,
take notes. Don't choose a favorite yet. Just watch the first year and take notes.
There is a formula that we do have when it comes to this. Like, it's a very extensive and crazy formula with 4 very different creative minds, but it became something way, way better than I even could have imagined. Because there were so many times where we had to, like, rebook and re-strategize what we were doing. Even so much so as, like, a couple weeks before we got the final matches done. That's how recent our rebooking has been. Like, we have not stopped rebooking. To the point where we've even, like, seen shit and said, we gotta change that immediately. And we didn't even write shit. We booked on the fly. I think Casey and I did a match. Can't reveal too much for the same reason Nikos said, but we booked shit on the fly. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's not as easy as you think it might be. Because the way we wanted to do it was a lot different than how a lot of other CAW leagues were going to do it. But it's going to be appointment viewing, I would hope. And I think that it's going to make the fucking wrestling schedule already bigger than it is. But that's the wrestling industry for you. So I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah. We don't have a year yet. We don't have an official confirmation I can give you yet. Because I'm not going to cyberpunk it and let fucking people pressure us. To put it that way. Because
by the way, should we do a year 2, it's going to be that same approach.
Yeah, exactly. But go
it's
ahead.
just all you need to know for a release. It'll be in April, but we're not going to tell you the year.
Yeah. That is yes, good point. So yeah, it's going to happen in April, the start of April, because technically speaking, while it happened later on in April, it was supposed to be during Mania that April in 2019. It just didn't work out that way because shit happened. But it's supposed to take place right after that because we have a very similar formula to the WWE pay-per-view system. So we are going by that method. But yeah, we have our big 4. We have all that shit. We have fucking storylines that kind of arc throughout the year. 2 very big ones included that really stretch throughout that year. And one big penultimate storyline that's going to impact year 2 if we ever decide to do one as well. So, yeah, we have a lot of story. And it's really, really interesting. It's really well done. And I think by the time you guys see that, you will see what not only us 4 have created, but our dialogue team has created, which us 4 are a part of, but also Sean Maverick, Mistress Audio, is helping out big time. Big shout out to her. I in fact, boom, subscribe to her channel in the iCard here, because seriously, like, this woman is a fucking machine when it comes to writing. And I'm praising her on the air here, man, but, shit. If there's one good thing, oh wow, I'm gonna get emotional saying this shit. No, you're a man, James. You're a man.
You're a Hebert, damn it.
Yeah, I'm a Hebert, damn it. If there's one good thing, the pandemic did for us, it was getting Mistress on. I think because she helped big time, especially with a few of these characters. And she is good. She's damn good at what she does. And a lot of other people too. I mentioned Mistress as the number one, but anybody from Mistress's crew, and anybody from the other crews that I've kind of networked with over the years, I think that was like the biggest positive that ever came out of that. Waiting as long as we did to start doing the voice acting after we got the footage created. So it's gonna be huge what we do here. And I think this, ironically enough, I think this is only the beginning. But when we actually start doing the voice dialogue, man, that's like the thing I've been looking forward to the most. I think we all have been looking forward to that the most. And we started that already a couple weeks ago, but like we're gonna be really hammering it down as we go through it here. We've been coming up with some really good shit. So trust me when I tell you, you will not be disappointed when this thing is all said and done, and it will be well worth the fucking wait. So yes.
Like I told you in our, what was it, second or third ever in-person Indy Force?
Yeah.
We are the ECW of CAW wrestling. You can put us on at a 4 a.m. time slot on a Tuesday morning. As long as it honestly doesn't matter. As long as you are patient with us, wait us out, and put your faith in us, we will give you something goddamn special.
Yeah.
And of course, to add, I know that there will be some people who will criticize us for how we booked the show, and I know when year one releases, you'll say, well, I don't think that I prefer it this way, and I don't think this is good. Well, that's your opinion, and if you have criticism, guess what? We'll take it as face value, we'll respect your opinion, and we'll use it as feedback for if we ever do a year two, because you have waited patiently since Immortal 1, since 2019. What we strive to do is to make sure that your wait was worth it.
Yep.
We have put, after 4 years, same thing with the directors of the Spider-Man movie. We've put our love, faith, soul, anger, tears, time, and joy into this project that I don't think any other CAW league, aside from No DQ CAW from back in the day, would have said this could be the next No DQ CAW in terms of story and continuity, basically. Because you can watch any CAW on YouTube. Mainly, those guys mainly upload an episode like once every 3 months, and I get it. You have time constraints, you're not fully into it, but you still manage to get something out. For us, we want to treat it like it's an actual show.
Yes.
And mainly, it serves as a love letter to our favorite wrestling shows like ECW and even Attitude Era.
I mean, in a lot of ways, when this whole thing started, even before you guys came into the fold, Mike and I have two different loves. It was always that. Mike had a love for video games, and I had a love for wrestling. And this is a love letter to both. And that's what this show is. It's a big-ass fucking love letter to all that shit. And I think we all share that passion to some degree, you know? And I think that's kind of what it is. And, yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at, you know? And that's kind of where our focus is to make sure that it's the best show possible, you know? We didn't work 4 years, bust our ass recording matches on an old-ass engine for nothing. Put it that way. So, Mike, anything else you want to add before we get the hell out of here and plug any other upcoming shit that might be coming up?
No.
Fair enough. With that said, we will be doing the plugs. I don't have the plugs graphic because that's for Rundown, not for Indy. But yeah. Mike, real quick, anything you want to plug or promote? I know you have started a new tradition on Mondays. If you would like to plug, go right ahead.
You fucking asshole keep stopping us from doing?
I stopped at one time.
Twice. This is twice.
What do you mean it's twice? When was the other time?
It's twice. Last week.
No, when was the other time before that? I don't remember
Last week.
Last week.
Last week. I'm fucking with you, by the way. Relax.
Oh, I was about to say. I was like, what? I did it last week? I don't remember that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we're doing Meltzer Monday. We're going through all the Dave Meltzer matches and just general wrestling shit and just enjoying what's going on. You can find us at the FireLordKuzon channel on Twitch.
Yes.
And I will be back up and doing my own stuff on Twitch soon at MichaelX_WYW.
Yes. Indeed.
But, yeah, it's just fucking finishing up this show is more important.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing I also want to point out as well, we are doing other stuff to keep you guys occupied. We haven't, like, dropped off the face of the earth, guys. I am clipping this on WYW as well. So for anybody actually watching this clip on Weymouth Youth Wrestling, we are doing other shit. So we're gonna run this trailer now in this splice. So here you go.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Owen the Talkinator Studios series premiere of Owen and AJ Talks. Welcome to the FTW family, Xero Miller. Shared experiences re-airing on the new FTW main hub. All retro wrestling review series videos on demand and upcoming. The Wrestling Rundown makes its return, available now on demand. Fantasy Booking Series video, If Goldberg Stayed in WWE in 2004. Pride CAW Supercard by Xero Entertainment. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Simple Bracketology season premiere covering the G1 Climax 33. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. Indy Force episode 26, available now on demand. Jeff Meacham Network, all watch-along events. AEW Double or Nothing Dynamite Go Home Show Watch Party, available now on demand. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Cassidy 18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting, episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news, ATW View Impromptu, WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy episode 8, fast food and restaurants discussion. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
Alright, we're back. But yeah, that's essentially what we got going on if you want to check out the stuff that we have been doing. But yeah, he's doing Meltzer Mondays, so go check that out. That's with our newest member, Xero in Weymouth Youth Wrestling, as well as Kuzon, Nikos, and Michael X. So go check that out. Casey, anything you got to plug or promote before we get the hell out of here?
Well, you know the usual places. C Troop 19 on the Dead Bird app.
True.
Luke Lynch on YouTube, InsanityWorks Incorporated, Luke 12 Lynch on Twitch, Luke some variant thereof as well on Tumblr. And tomorrow you can find me and the Greek on the Wrestling Fortune 44 channel.
Owen the Talkinator channel.
Oh, sorry, or in the Talkinator channel, for a review of the movie we did a really botched watch-along for, La Strada.
Yes. So be on the lookout for that. Nikos, anything else you got to plug or promote besides the La Strada watch-along and Meltzer Monday?
Well, other than that, you can find me on, as how Casey said it, the Dead Tweety app that is known as Twitter. My username is Lionheart Nikos. Whatever you do, don't visit my old YouTube channel because that shit is dead in the water as it is.
Yes.
So if you like to see my rendition of the John Ford Stagecoach movie, screw it, go ahead. Don't say I didn't warn you if the fucking video sucks. It was my first attempt. But other than that, yeah. You could also find me on Twitch as well with FireLordKuzon. We are doing Meltzer Mondays on that. And we are doing, me and Casey and Owen, not only are we going to be reviewing La Strada, we are going to make it our new series of the Retro Movie Review, which we will be watching every single movie from this book of 100 fan-favorite movies of all time. And we will be using Casey's watch-along channel to stream all those movies. And for the Owen the Talkinator's channel, we will talk about every single one of the 100 movies. And when we are done with that, we may or may not make a tier list on if it actually deserves to be a fan favorite. But now we know it says 100 movies, but there are plenty more that this book does not have. So if you have any retro movies that you know that is dated back 20 years ago, hit us up in the comment section, let us know. We will take your vote into consideration. Yep. And maybe one day we'll review the movie or watch it on Casey's Watch Along and review it on the Owen the Talkinator. But for now, keep on the lookout for the first episode that we're doing of La Strada.
Yep.
We hope to see you there.
And real quick as well, if you have any movie suggestions and for some reason you don't like doing it on the comment section or something, you can also hit us up at JHebert95 on Twitter, CTroop19 on Twitter, Lionheart Nikos on Twitter, or Owen the Talk 44 on Twitter. So one of us that I produced the show mainly just to make it look pretty and nice, that shit. So if you want to go and tweet at one of us, essentially, we will recommend a movie and put it in the list or whatever. I think we're making a list as we speak now that includes the stuff from the book plus some other shit. So yeah,
just as long as it's dated back 10 to 20 years, because anything recent, I don't count as a retro.
Yeah, the wrestling is a lot different than movie cinema, because anything past 2010 is probably like still newish. So we're gonna actually like go further back than just the year limit that we set for ourselves there. With that being said, speaking of that, you guys can follow me on youtube.com/user/JHebert_SID95. That is the secondary hub for FTW Productions, although it is now back to kind of just being JHebert side as a standalone. Although we do have our new FTW main hub, which you could find at youtube.com/@FTW Productions main. That is the new hub for FTW Productions. You could check right now Shared Experiences. It is up right now as the Best of FTW Productions Episode 1. Go check that out right now if you haven't done so already. That's still a prod work that I love to kind of go back and watch. I actually was listening to it a couple days ago, because why not? I'm a whore for my work, you know. All that shit. You can also check out, on Owen the Talkinator as well, the return of Content and Review with Mistress Audio, Owen Finch, and myself, as well as Character Select with myself and Xero Miller, our newest member of FTW Productions. On Xero's channel, you could check out Pride 2, which is his CAW supercard that he's been doing. He did Pride 1 already, which featured Women's Youth Wrestling participation as well, along with his 2 CAW League promotions, Frontline and Pro Wrestling Universal. So go check that out as well. You can find those shows on Color TV and Xero Entertainment. All on the FTW main hub. You can easily check out one of our channels. On top of that, you can basically check out on JHebert Side 95. Jeff Meacham Network Watch Along's coming up. Blood and Guts, as I mentioned. But also, I believe we're going to be doing Royal Rampage. And we are also going to be doing... or no, not Royal Rampage. Death Before Dishonor. At least as far as I know. That might be tentatively to be determined depending on finances. But right now, it's Death Before Dishonor. Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. So go check that out as well. And on Owen's channel, Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated. And that's the last thing that I can remember off the top of my head, at least. NXT TakeOver London Retro coming up on the channel. That will be with myself and Owen Finch. And you can also on that channel check out the newest edition of WWE Aftershock out right now. And the premiere of AEW Spark with Owen Finch and Xero Miller as well. Covering all the happenings in AEW. So, I think that's everything. If I forgot something, I don't know. There's a lot of shit that I do. Too much shit to keep up with. But yeah, this has been the Indy Force. This has been a great show. And this will be the last of the format, as I said. New format change coming. Instead of just us 4 on the screen, we're going to actually be putting gameplay right in the center of all of us. Similar to how we were playing Lost is probably how that's going to be. We're going to be in the corners, and that's how the videos are going to be looking like going forward. So get used to that format. Get prepared for it, whatever you got to do. That's essentially how we're going to be changing it. We just want to kind of give you something visually appealing to look at instead of us 4 yahoos. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. That will be coming soon at some point, I hope. We might have a couple guests, depending on if we get it done sooner rather than later, while you, good sir, are going to be at Greece. Yep. And yeah,
I'll be sure to bring back a souvenir.
Yes, I know you will. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think we have anything else to say. So, for the Executioner Michael X, for the Wrestling Encyclopedia Casey Gallagher, for the Lionheart Mike Nikos, I am the He-Man JHebert, and until next time, we love it when a plan comes together. See you guys next time.